What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Jake Shavink here, and the rookie getting the most hype in Packers training camp right now may not have been who everyone expected it to be to this point. It has definitely been Oregon safety Evan Williams, who the Packers traded up 15 spots for on day 3 of the 2024 NFL Draft. Now, Williams has been getting headlines because he's been running with the first team at safety with Xavier McKinney, and he's also made plays in terms of the interceptions and pass breakups in 11v11. So, thought we'd go and take a look at Evan Williams in terms of the film and in terms of kind of the stats as well and see, can he make that instant impact for the Packers in 2024? Now, Evan Williams, when you look at the graphic coming up here, the 8.20 RAS, elite in the explosion drills, right, the vert and the broad jump, and then had the 4.08 shuttle, which is 93rd percentile among safeties. And then obviously you see the versatile deployment, right, when it comes to the box, playing in the slot and playing deep at free safety. And of course, the plays he made around the line of scrimmage in terms of run stops and pressures, but also had a couple pass breakups as well. So let's get to the film room and kind of take a look at Williams' strengths, where he can work on, and if all of what he can do can translate into an instant impact for the Packers in 2024. Off to the film room to take a look at Evan Williams. All right, guys, here we go into the film room taking a look at Evan Williams. And I think in the Jeff Hafley defense for the Packers, there's going to be a lot of too high looks. Doesn't mean you're not going to have to fill against the run. I think there are going to be plenty of times where you might see some late snap rotation where McKinney takes post safety looks, right, playing single high. And then opposite him, you're going to have somebody who's kind of filling downhill, whether it be against the pass or the run in a robber look, or again, getting into a run fit and being an enforcer. So Evan Williams against the run, I think he does a really nice job. Good range, good closing speed here, a nice angle, and showing off the closing speed and the reliability as a tackler there to limit the gain on the ground. Once again here, so you're going to have to step down and fill against the run, get into your gap, and make a tackle. And he does so there. Really sound play. Show off some range against the run. Do a nice job here, chasing down Dylan Johnson, limiting a potential big gain. Same like the one against Stanford. Fly downhill, get into a gap, quickly fill against the run, and then show off some physicality, show off some enforcer mentality, bring some stopping power as a tackler. He does so there against Jaden Ott. Against the QB run game, show off that enforcer mentality like he does right there. This is one of my favorites that he does against the run. He's on the back side of this run fit. And so essentially all you got to do is make sure you hold the edge here to turn him back inside to where you have hats. So he does a nice job there, maintains the leverage on the outside, and also takes part in helping bring down the running back. Again, the tenacity, the physicality, just the willpower almost to get off tackles and just make plays against the run. Evan Williams definitely has that in spades. And again, show off a little bit of that enforcer mentality. Lay a nice big hit on Michael Penix Jr. right there. Really, really good job by him. Saw some open field tackling stuff, which I think he does a really good job of as well. Here, again, Williams on a scramble drill, finds the open man. A lot of these USC receivers were really shifty and really tough to bring down after the catch. Really nice job there by Evan Williams to limit anything after the catch there. Here, really just a hustle play from him. Williams is lined up here, and initially what's going to happen is he's pretty much this block right here by the receiver is going to kind of eliminate him from this toss play. But he does a good job spinning out of that block and again, show off the hustle ability to chase down the running back, potentially limit a big gain right there. Now, how can you do against, kind of the pass and close downhill like this? Again, does a really nice job of driving on this crosser and a really sound tackle in open space. Now, how about as a blitzer? You're going to see this a lot. Oregon sent him on plenty of blitzes. You saw 8 pressures and 5 sacks. Here's one of them. Demolish the running back in pass protection and then finish it off with a sack. Really, really good job there from Evan Williams. Now, here is a really interesting kind of look against Colorado as well, where he's basically lined up on the receiver on the snap, but you can tell because there's a defender right behind him, basically almost aligned perfectly, probably going to send him on the blitz. They do. Nobody picks him up, and he finishes the sack there. Really, really good job from him. Another way that they're going to do this, Oregon and potentially Hafley of the Packers here, is again, he's kind of in this sort of hybrid linebacker robber type of look here at the moment, and he's just going to fly through the A gap and make a play in the backfield, and I imagine we'll see plenty of that. Here again, he's flying in from depth through the A gap, have to blow up the running back, essentially in pass protection, have to knock him backwards into the QB and try to force some sort of disruption. And he definitely does that a little bit there. Here as well, where it's sort of a late blitz. He's almost looking for play action, and then it's just time to attack. Does so, forces Penix off his spot a little bit into scramble drill off platform. Really, really good job there from Evan Williams. Now, in terms of coverage, I think you see really good closing speed, really good recognition skills, and you can see him click and close down there, fly downhill for a quick tackle, limit yardage after the catch. Same thing here. You see a little kind of route to the flat. Williams is already flying downhill, and he's already there to wrap up to limit anything after the catch. This is one of my favorites against USC, okay? He's going to drop into the hole basically here, the robber look, where he's going to try to pick anything off over the middle of the field. So, right, show the too high, now drop into this single high look. He's going to take away the middle of the field. Now, Caleb was looking here, it looks like, right? So now Williamson's in scramble mode. Evan Williams says, okay, how about I just take away the middle of the field and chase you down? Just a really, really, really good play from him there. Now, how about some instincts in coverage? You'll see him over the middle field here. First instinct is obviously to look where Shedeur Sanders is looking on this. Two receivers over here, but he sees that we've got, triangle here. We've got three hats for two. So now he says, okay, let me peel back and see if there's anything crossing over the middle of the field. Unbeknownst to him, of course, Sanders got into scramble mode here, but this is a really good job of saying, okay, if the quarterback was going to look essentially front side of this play and then work back on this backside crosser, Williams does a nice job of saying, okay, I'm going to be in position to see if he goes here to potentially have a play and pick something off. Same thing here where I think he does a really nice job of, again, getting eyes on a lot of what's happening and what's developing. Right, he sees this receiver coming into the middle of the field. He's going to sink to that depth and basically take away a throwing window there. Really, really solid job there from him. Same thing here where what's going to happen is you're going to have two receivers from Washington crossing this direction. One's going to be a little bit shorter. The other's going to work in behind him. What Williams and the corner have to do here is communicate on saying, okay, you have deep, I have the short crosser. And they do communicate very well. Williams initially taking that short crosser, but works back to this crosser late enough to force a throw somewhere else. So really good sound coverage instincts there. Now, Washington State's in a stacked formation here. So in this instance, corner takes the route going inside. Williams has the route staying to the outside. He does a good job. He doesn't fall for the stutter move. He's still in good position. And then the kind of this sort of comeback late, Williams is all over that in coverage. Same thing here where a little bit different. Williams is just going to take the deeper route. The corner's going to take the shorter route on this. Again, good pedal, right? Wait for the guy to break. Don't necessarily let him dictate, right? But don't kind of fall for anything at the top of a route. He's in good position, and he's in good position as well when it turns into a scramble drill. So you see some really good stuff, sound stuff in coverage. Processing skill sets really on display as well when you watch him at Oregon. Right, this is a throwback here for USC. Back to Caleb Williams, and really Evan Williams is the only one over here that knows what's going on. And he does his best to almost fight off two blockers so other guys can get back there, potentially limit what could have been, 30, 40-yard play. He just held it up long enough for his teammates to get back there. Here he's got the number 3 in the slot, does a nice job of staying patient, but also closing on this throw. And while it's a low throw, I think he still takes part in a little bit of a pass breakup there. So nice job from Williams in that regard. Here, this is a nice little wrinkle what USC is doing. What's going to happen is tight end is going to work outside, try to get around this defender, and then work up the seam. And what you're going to have is a sort of a whip route underneath, which is going to kind of create a little bit of confusion. Williams is looking for an in-breaker, it looks like here initially, but does a great job recovering on this tight end seam to take this away because Caleb Williams is coming back to this after looking front side, but he does a nice job of taking this away. Forces, again, Caleb Williams into a scramble drill, which we don't need to see. You've seen that plenty of times, I'm sure. Here, just take the running back out of the backfield. That's his assignment. Does a nice job in coverage here, erasing any opportunity of a throw going his way. I think he did a nice job in coverage, even on the Washington receivers. Here it's Polk and stays in the pedal until he absolutely has to turn and run on this sort of fade route and basically is step for step with him, and there's really not any room for Penix to fit that in any type of window. Here, just kind of a nice one that I kind of threw in here. Just wanted you to get this one. Some eyes on it. Late blitz from Evan Williams off play action. Stays with the pursuit of Williams and actually ends up forcing a fumble here. USC did recover, but again, some really good opportunistic football there from Evan Williams. Now, there's a few things I think he could work on. I think this is one of them here. Penix is going to unload on this one. And Williams is in good position, right? He's closed space to the defender. He's in position to make a play. He's just now got to get his eyes on the football a little sooner so he doesn't drift too much, because receiver comes back. Jalen Polk there comes back and makes the play at the catch point. So we'd like to see him find the football a little bit better in situations like that. There are a couple instances where I think he could work on just maintaining leverage to the outside. He does slow this down long enough for teammates to rally to the ball, but it would be nice to see him just maintain that leverage and turn him back inside on that play. Here, I think angles are a little bit of a question, right? He gets a little aggressive at times. You'll see him kind of take this steep angle downhill, leads to a missed tackle there. So you definitely see that. And even here on this kind of short route from the tight end, Williams makes an aggressive pursuit angle to the ball, and that costs him a little bit, right, in terms of a missed tackle. So I think it's just it's a couple things, right? And again, a missed tackle here, once again, kind of just gives up a little bit of that leverage to the outside, allows the running back to just be able to set him up and make him miss. I think there are times where that aggression turns into dropping the shoulder to hit, and he does so there against the tight end. Would rather see him wrap up with good technique. Same thing here. I know he's got the club on, so it's a little harder to wrap up, but it's a QB. And you see him just kind of looking to drop the shoulder. QB knows that, and he's going to spin out. So there's a couple instances of that. And I think there's just one or two. Again, this might be nitpicking a little bit, but mishaps in communication, right? You can tell this is short route, shorter route based on what they're doing. And Williams has to take this communication and say, okay, whoops, I'm supposed to have the deep guy. This guy's just kind of disrupting his route a little bit so I can get there to stay in coverage, but just a little bit of a mishap there from Williams and company. But ultimately, I do think Evan Williams, you can see all of the smarts in terms of fundamentally sound coverage and fundamentally sound he is defending the run, to the point where like it's understandable that he's getting first team reps besides Xavier McKinney, especially with Bullard's versatility as well. Now, obviously, Williams has that versatility, but it seems more likely that a player of Bullard's caliber could play more nickel than Evan Williams could. So it's good that he's getting these safety reps early on, and it's really cool that we already see him making plays in training camp. Hopefully that translates to preseason and regular season reps. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Evan Williams. If you did, throw a like down there, subscribe if you're new. Plenty more content as the season draws ever so close. I will catch you guys in the next video. Farewell.